Okay, there. Now, for your attendance, as always, can you please type in your full name on our chat box so that your attendance for this class will also be recorded po. Thank you. Aside from that, of course, don't forget to go to TBL Hub later or right now if you have time to mark yourself present on our attendance on TBL Hub. Okay, currently there are 23 of you. 20, oh, there. I think some of you are already coming in. Okay. All right. So I guess we can begin now. Once again, good morning, everyone. This is grade 1201 MSC THR. And it's Tuesday today, another week. It's week 5 of our first semester. And the date for today is September 21st. You roughly have, I believe you roughly have 3 weeks left for the term. I mean, for midterms, ha. So we have, I think, roughly around 3 weeks to end to finish midterm plus this week, so a month to go. All right. So that's how quick time has been moving the past couple of months actually. So you have to be very, how do I say this? You have to be aware of the deadlines that we have. Remember that your task, your activities on TBL the activities that are posted on TBL Hub should be accomplished, okay, before the end of midterm for you to receive your grades, okay? And those tasks that are assigned for midterm completion cannot be completed anymore after midterm, okay? So you will not have a chance anymore to complete them because we're gonna be like starting fresh after midterm, all right? So for our class preliminaries, can someone please read our weekly affirmation? Anyone? Maya, go ahead.
Mistakes help me learn and grow. I can always be better.
Thank you. Jennifer, can you read it once again?
Mistakes help me learn and grow. I can always be better.
Thank you very much. How about another one? Can I have another one read it? Rainer, go ahead.
Mistakes help me learn and grow. I can always be better.
All right. Thank you very much. I hope that this week you get to realize how important mistakes are in your life. And I know that some of you, or many of us actually, not only you, many of us consider it as if it's a bad thing. When it happens, we take it hard upon ourselves. We value, it's probably because we value other people's opinion, that's why. But anyway, we take it hard, and it's difficult for us whenever we commit mistakes, especially if you're an achiever. And but you have to remember that mistake is part of life. It's something that will happen no matter what you do. Okay, maybe not you but someone else, okay? Or yeah, it's inevitable no matter how good you are, no matter how well versed you are in something, no matter how talented, how skilled you are bound to commit mistakes. You are bound to commit errors, and it's something that is natural. All you have to remember is that it's part of our life, and it's a learning process. It's part of the learning process. We learn better when we make mistakes, when we commit errors. And since we know better, we learn better, we get to improve ourselves as well. That's a learning opportunity. Committing mistakes, committing errors could be taken as a learning opportunity for us to enhance who we are, enhance our skills, enhance our talents. Okay, so I hope that throughout the week you are reminded that no matter how difficult it might be, and no matter how much you think you are failing at certain things, don't worry. That's part of growing up. That's part of learning. That's part of becoming who you fully are. Fully realizing what you can do. Okay, so there. All right. So, attendance again for those who just came in, please do not forget to type in your full name on our chat box so that so that your attendance or your presence during the synchronous session could be recorded as well. All right. So, let's do a lesson recap. Moving on because we have an activity for today. I don't want to take too much of your time with all the preliminaries. So let's move on to the next part of our session, which is lesson recap. Wait lang ah. Okay, so let's move on to the next part of our synchronous session, lesson recap. For today's lesson recap, we already had our how do I say this? Our topics, which are lesson 3 and lesson 4. So from before we had first two lessons, now we are moving on to lesson 3 and lesson 4. Lesson 3 was all about functions and features of effective communication. Similarly, another video was uploaded discussing the barriers of communication. Okay, and then for lesson 4, actually, lesson 3, those are three different lessons. If we had face-to-face classes, those are three different sessions. Functions of communication first, and then features of effective communication, and then barriers to communication. But since we are in an online class and we have limited time for it, I just decided to put all the three lessons in one. Okay. But anyway, that's it for lesson 3. Lesson 4 was all about verbal and non-verbal communication. I am not really expecting everyone to have watched the video already, but if you have, then that's great. You can share something in the class later. But for those who haven't, lesson 4 discussed the two major forms of communication. So that is verbal and non-verbal communication. By the terms itself, you could already identify what they are. Okay. However, there are certain things, certain concepts that once you watch the video, you would realize that, oh, this is part of verbal communication. This is part of non-verbal communication pala. So, please do watch the videos if you haven't yet. It will help you understand and it will help you develop your communication skills better as well. All right, so for our lesson recap, we'll do it differently this time. Instead of telling me what were the different, concepts identified and discussed on those lessons, I want you to think about what is that one thing, just one. You don't have to elaborate too much. Just one thing that you learned either from lesson 3 or lesson 4. It's something that you didn't know before, but now you know because of the lesson. Okay? Again, let me repeat the question. What is one thing you have learned from lesson 3 and lesson 4 or lesson 4 that you didn't know before but you know now? Okay, let me post the question on the chat box so your other classmates can see it as well. Again, let me repeat the question. What is one thing that you have learned from lesson 3 and lesson 4 that you didn't know before but you know now? Okay, can anyone share? Jennifer, go ahead.
Yung naisip ko po is yung mental state could be a barrier po through socializing or communicating po.
Mm-hmm. All right, can you tell us something more about it? Like, what was your learning from it?
Kasi po hindi ko po talaga naiisip na kapag nakikipag-communicate po ako, hindi ko po sila masyadong iniisip kung ano po yung mental state nila. So parang hindi ko po nagagets kung ba't po minsan may kausap ako tapos hindi niya po maintindihan, mga ganun po. So naisip ko po siguro po yung iba kong nakakausap may mga problema lang talaga na hindi ko po naiisip, ganun po.
All right, thank you very much for that. That's a very good realization. There are times, there are instances we're in, or situations rather, communicative situations we're in. We want, as much as we want to engage, interact as much as we could to someone, but that someone would not reciprocate the energy, the vibe that we are feeling. Okay, and then you are left wondering, saan ako nagkamali? What was the fault in me? Because you cannot see anything. You were able to, to deliver your message effectively. Wala namang ingay, wala namang physical ingay kayong naririnig. There's no visible barrier to your communication. But then eventually, you'll get to realize that probably that person is not ready to listen to you. Probably their condition, their mental state, their, emotion, it could be emotional state as well, is not appropriate for that communicative situation. So that in itself could be a barrier to communication. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing that one. Laurelie, can you please unmute yourself? You may share.
Yung akin po is yung 7 C's of effective communication. Kasi
What about it?
ngayon ko lang po siya nalaman na kailangan pala i-apply yung 7 C's para mas lalo kang maging effective sa mga listeners mo. Like, para maka-relate kayo both sa isa't isa. Kung ano yung pinag-uusapan niyo, yun lang po.
Yeah, thank you very much. Remember that the goal of communication is for you to be understood and for your listeners to understand what it is you are trying to say. So whenever we communicate, we want it to be as effective as much as possible. All right? So in order to do that, like what Laurelie mentioned, we have the 7 C's to communication. You have completeness, consideration, correctness, what else? Courtesy. What else did I miss? That's 4 already. Completeness, consideration, courtesy, correctness,
Conciseness.
conciseness, thank you. Another 2. I mean,
Clearness po, ma'am.
clearness, and the last one. I forgot the last one.
Correctness.
We're done eh.
Completeness.
Completeness, we already have. Completeness, correctness, consideration, courtesy, clearness, conciseness.
Concreteness po.
Sorry again, Bea.
Completeness.
Meron na eh. Completeness, meron na.
Concreteness.
Concreteness. Thank you so much, Samantha. Okay, so that's concreteness. Okay, so there are 7. But then, those 7, of course, sometimes you are not fully aware that you are already practicing those things. But whenever you communicate, especially if you believe that it's effective, probably most likely you have performed those 7 C's. Okay, but if you want to be more conscious about it, you have to remember those 7 C's. Those are just suggestions. Those are things that could make the communication process easier, better, shorter, kumbaga. Okay? And of course, becoming more effective in terms of communicating. Alright? So take for example, completeness na lang. I always give this as an example because this is appropriate for that particular feature of effective communication. So whenever you are talking to a group of people or even to your closest friends, especially to your closest friends, and you want to go somewhere, sometimes you would just say, "Tara." It's as simple as that, right? Tara. Okay, one word. But if it's those people are your closest friends, you already know that they would understand right away what you are saying. You could be already going to places that you already have been to, or it's something that you always go to, or it's always the time for you to always go. All right? So there's already an understanding, no matter how simple that phrase is. Tara. Okay, but sometimes, if those people are not really, or are new to you, new parts of your life, instead of them saying like, sige G, go na tayo. Okay. They would ask questions. Saan? Once you say tara, saan? Where are we going? Okay? Anong gagawin natin? What are we doing? Alright? So, there are lots of questions that would follow. So, it's very, very essential that we practice completeness. Okay? Because sometimes this is the most disregarded feature of effective communication. We tend to just express what is in our mind, what is it that we are thinking about without even realizing that it's not complete. Sometimes the thought is not complete, the details are not complete, the information is not complete. So for us to become effective communicators, then we must do that. All right. So can I have another one? Highness, go ahead.
Yung sa ano ma'am, sa physical barriers, yung too much information. Noong una po, akala ko, syempre pag marami information, akala mo mabuti, gano'n. Yung pala parang sa mga listeners mo pa nakasabog na ng utak kasi nagkakagulo-gulo sa utak nila. Tapos minsan hindi na nila matandaan kung yung mga sinabi mo kasi sobra-sobra na. Ganun po.
Ayun. Thank you very much for that, Highness. That's the downside of, how do I say this? Completeness. If you are way too complete, okay, but without practicing conciseness, that's what happens. Information overload. And you are very much aware of what that is. Because you as students always experience that. Agree, yes or no?
Agree
Yes.
po.
Yes, right? You agree. So, every time, for example, once you sit through a morning class, for example, your classes start from 6 a.m. like this one until 12, tuloy-tuloy, walang break. Lalo na kapag face-to-face, wala tayong break, ha? Okay, may mga ibang section na tuloy-tuloy sila nagkaklase from 6 a.m. to 12. And different subjects. So, that could be a problem, right? You are being fed with too much information that your mind could not already handle it, could not process it. Remember that your attention spans are also shorter. Recently, there's been a study before that the regular attention span of a person is 9 minutes. So you could only talk, you could only sustain that conversation and make it as effective as possible within 9 minutes. And then after a few years, the results of that study was conducted again, and the results showed that the attention span of people got shorter. It became 7 minutes. Okay, now that we are being transposed to the digital world, okay, we are being, how do I say this? We shifted from regular face-to-face conversation, especially for students. This is very particular for students and very young students. Now that we have shifted to that, from 7 minutes, it became 3 minutes na lang. So see the difference. 3 minutes you have to sustain that conversation. That's how shorter, or that's how short the attention span of people have become. Okay? Kaya nga dapat daw kapag nagpapa seminar ka, you have to always check up on your listeners because it's very difficult to sustain their attention span. For adult learners, 5 to 7 minutes, 5 to 9 minutes, but that's it. That's it. Wala nang lalagpas doon. You have to always check in on them during those time or after that period of time. For young learners, especially meron ba dito may kapatid na nag-aaral pa sa preschool until grade 3? Taas nga kamay. Ayan, meron. So, you would notice na yung mga bata ngayon, they couldn't sit still for longer than 3 minutes. Especially if they're in front of a computer. Unless, of course, they are playing games. It's something that interests them. But if it's something that is new, that is being fed to them, you have to teach them that. It's very difficult. I've taught preschool before, so I know how difficult it is to teach preschool face-to-face. What more now that the teachers in the lower grades are teaching them online, sobrang hirap niyan, trust me. Kaya saludo ako sa mga nagtuturo ngayon sa elementary, tsaka sa kinder, sa preschool. Grabe, ang hirap i-sustain ng attention ng bata right now. And even without, if it is without assistance from the parent, sobrang hirap niyan. Okay, so that's it. You have to be aware of those things as well, especially information overload. I know that you have experienced it. I know that you've gone through that problem. That I know there are instances. I don't know if you have experienced this. You are already listening. You know that you are listening, but your mind cannot process it anymore. Ay nako, dyan talaga problema yan. Pag tinanong ka na ng teacher, oh no, hindi mo na alam ang isasagot mo. So, it's very difficult if information overload is the problem. That's why for example, if you know that your mind cannot process it anymore, take some rest. Take a rest, refresh your mind, okay, or inform the person that you are talking with, I'm sorry, but I'm not understanding what you are saying right now because it's too much for me. Okay, as simple as that. Communicate as well what you are feeling as someone who is receiving that message, receiving or listening to that person. Okay, so that's it. Can I have another one? Share? Maya, go ahead.
The term brevity po, ma'am, isa po siya sa factors to consider. Pero po nung una, yung term po na yun, hindi ko po alam. It is about, po pala, the way you make your message direct to the point, or in other term po, conciseness. Tapos, po, ito po yung pag-avoid mo sa fillers like, like, yeah, ganun po.
All right, correct. We really cannot help it to use fillers because fillers are things that, how do I say this? They mean actually during the conversation. For example, even me while I teach, I still use okay, like it's, you're trying to make it long because that's an indication actually that your thought, your thinking process or your encoding process is not yet done. Your transmission of the message is not yet done. So we will talk about this in the future. Your turn, kumbaga, yung turn mo to talk, it's not yet done. That's an indication of it. So considering there's really nothing wrong with it. What we are pointing out in conciseness is that if there is too much of it, okay? So take for example, have you heard someone talk in a conyo way?
Yes po.
Yes. No. If you are on TikTok, you would find a lot of this, okay? When they talk, it's like parang ano kasi, 'di ba? Instead of just saying parang kasi or kasi naman, they would just say it's like parang ano kasi. It's too long. You could just make it shorter. Okay, there are instances like that. There are also instances wherein me personally, whenever I talk, I tend to include too many details about my stories because I want to practice vividness as well. But then it backfires because there's way too much. There's way too many things that I couldn't sustain the conversation anymore. My listeners are not interested in anymore because there's way too much information that I could have just shortened it. I didn't have to include impertinent details or impertinent details, but the key details only. Parang dapat i-summarize ko na lang siya, but then again I told the whole story. So that's it. All right. Thank you so much, Maya, for that. Okay. Can we have the last one? A while ago, Ivy, go ahead.
Yung sa verbal communication po, alam naman po natin yung verbal communication is ginagamitan po siya ng boses po. So sabi po na kailangan po pala may isaalang-alang po na aspects dito or yung aspects of voice usage po. And nalaman ko po dito na importante po talaga yung tono ng pananalita mo kasi baka iba yung isipin ng tao sa'yo kapag mali yung pag-deliver mo ng message sa kanila. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Ivy. Correct. Okay. It's also essential. I know that probably many of you have not yet watched the video or some of you have not watched the video. But whenever we use our voice, the way that we use our voice, the way that we utilize it, the way that we deliver the message using our voice, that could affect the meaning of your intended message or your intention altogether. Okay, so take for example, I don't know if any of you are in a relationship right now, but let me just share this story because when I was in a relationship like a year ago, this is a common issue between my partner and I. So, what happens is that every time that we argue, I tend to raise my voice at him. Because I felt as if I raise my voice, my ex-boyfriend was a foreigner kasi. So, even if syempre, di ba kapag nag-aaway kami, English, kaya mahirap sa akin. So, because I'm not really the native speaker during our conversation. So, it's difficult for me to argue in English. I cannot process my thoughts right away since it's an argument. So, every time that we do fight, I tend to raise my voice to make my points. However, he interprets it differently. Okay, he believes that I'm putting too much how do I say this? I'm putting too much importance on the argument itself and not on problem solving. So that's what our usual or common problem was before. Okay, so we tend to do that. It's very common. However, you get to realize that that's not always gonna solve the issue. That's not always gonna deliver. That's not the most effective way to deliver the meaning, the message that you intend to deliver. All right, so that becomes a problem. That causes more confusion. That causes more miscommunication. And another thing, even the tone of your voice. Okay, so the tone of your voice could affect the volume. A while ago, it was volume. The pitch of your voice could affect the message. So take for example, whenever you talk to your crush, you would realize this. Or maybe if you are now more aware of it, you would realize this. If you talk to someone that you like, you tend to baby talk or use a higher pitch, especially for girls. Higher pitch for girls, and for boys, lower pitch. So you tend to put your voices lower on a lower pitch. Because for girls, that's how we are. We are already on a higher pitch than guys. But then when we talk to someone that we like, mas tumataas pa yan. Okay, and then we tend to baby talk. All right. So another one is for boys. It becomes lower because that's, I don't know if it's the animal. I watched a documentary kasi about this one. It's boys are compared to how apes or primates assert their position. Even lions, you would notice that a lion would assert his position by roaring. Okay, magro-roar siya. Alright? For apes, they would assert their dominance over the pack or over the how do I call a group of monkeys? Um he will assert his dominance over the other monkeys, over the other primates, over the other apes by thumping his chest and making this low sound. All right. So similarly, boys are like that now. They tend to lower their voice whenever they talk to someone they like because they want to assert their dominance. They want to assert their how do I call this? Their maleness. Okay? So ganun siya, okay? All right. So that's it. I guess if you haven't watched verbal communication and nonverbal communication yet, I highly suggest that you watch it so you are more aware. There are also I don't know if anyone learned about this, but there are also many different kinds of how we communicate without using our voices, without using words. Your bodies in itself communicate something. The way that you talk, the way that you walk, the way that you stand up, the way that you dress up, it communicates something. Even the things that you are using already communicate something. So take for example, what do you think of people wearing glasses? Sige nga, when you see someone wearing glasses, what is your impression? Without even talking
Nerd.
to them. Nerd, what else?
Matalino.
Matalino, what else? We have different interpretations, correct? Ha?
Yes.
Seryoso po.
Seryoso, yan. We have different interpretations. Without even talking to that person, when you see someone who wears eyeglasses, then some of you might think they're smart, they're a nerd, or they're just snobs, they're serious about their lives, all right? But then, that's not the case. That could not be the case. Alright, baka naman malabo lang talaga yung mata ng tao na yon, 'di ba? So katulad ko, baka naman pinoprotektahan ko lang talaga yung mata ko from the sunlight or from whatever that is. Okay? So um without even talking to other people, a part of you, how you present yourself already communicates something. Another example, okay, what do you think of people who are using iPhones?
Mayaman.
Diba?
Rich kid.
Mayaman, rich kid. Okay, so even without you asking that person, uy, mayaman ka ba? Ang belief mo na kagad, ang impression mo na kagad to someone using an iPhone or even an Apple product and a Samsung product, you would already have that impression that, oh, they have the money to buy, they're probably rich because they have the money to buy that gadget. Diba? Because those gadgets are expensive. Another thing, this is very common, especially here in the Philippines. What would you notice about people or OFWs who just came from abroad and then they come back to the Philippines? What's something distinct about them?
Maraming chocolates.
Maraming chocolates. Mukhang
Mga
naaambunan kayo ng
lotion.
chocolates.
Balikbayan box.
What would you... No, the way that they present themselves, lalo na kapag kababalik lang nila ng Philippines. Anong mapapansin?
na daw,
Big time.
Bakit nyo nasasabing big time? Bakit nyo sinasabing yumayabang? What's something about them? The way that they present themselves, even without you talking to them.
Kasi umano,
Sa pananamit po.
Sa pananamit,
Nila.
na-adapt na ibang
Fashion.
so nag-iba na yung fashion style nila. No, there's something about them. You would, especially, this is very particular to Filipino OFWs. You know what I have noticed? A lot of Filipino OFWs, for example, after a long time working abroad and then they come back, whenever they come back, they are wearing a lot of gold. Have you noticed that?
Opo.
Diba?
Yes.
Diba? Ang dami nilang gold. For example, I have this uncle who worked in Saudi for a very long time. As in, he didn't come home for a very long time. I think it was 6 years or 7 years that he was not able to come home because he's been working hard and his boss back there didn't want him to go home. So, yung anak niya na baby pa, nung umalis siya, malaki na nung nakabalik siya sa Philippines. Alright? So, hindi siya kilala nung anak niya nung bumalik siya dito. Ang tawag sa kanya nung anak niya tito. So ganun kalala. Ganun siya katagal na nawala na hindi na siya kilala nung anak niya nung bumalik siya dito. But then when he came back here, a lot of our relatives thought, even without talking to him just yet, a lot of our relatives thought that he became mayabang, he became extremely successful in his endeavor in Saudi, stuff like that, because when he came back, ang dami niyang gold. As in, guy ha, tito ko to ha, lalaki. So, ang dami niyang gold talaga na nakasabit sa leeg niya. Para siyang rapper na hindi mo malaman. So, that's funny, and it's a very common thing for Filipinos. I have noticed this especially for our balikbayans, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's the fruit of their labor. However, yeah, you would notice that people make a lot of assumptions just based off on how they presented themselves. 'Di ba? Simpleng bagay lang yun kung tutuusin. It's just a piece of jewelry. It's just something that you wear around your neck. It's just something that you wear around your hands or even on your ears. Okay? But still, people make assumptions. So, it communicates something. It really does communicate something. Even the way that you dress up. You would notice that on movies, 'di ba lagi kapag nerd siya, ang pangit niyang manamit. Kapag popular person, if it's a popular person, it's always gonna be the branded clothes, it's nicely dressed, 'di ba? Bakit wala bang popular na is there no popular person na maayos manamit? 'Di ba? It's something, it communicates already something. And most of you are theater, or a lot of you are theater students here. So you would know that your costume already communicates something, 'di ba? When you act. All right, so that's it. Okay, even your gestures in theater, this is very important. In gestures, your body movements, those communicate something. So non-verbal, aside from the words that we say, we also have to be careful of the words or the things that we are not saying. All right, because those are communicating something. The way that you talk, the way that you stand, your posture, the way that you dress up, all of those things, they could communicate something. All right. So I hope you get to learn a lot of other things from that particular video lesson. Okay. Any questions so far? Any clarifications that you want to make?
Wala po.
Wala po.
Wala. Sure. None. Okay. I hope that's very clear for everyone. Okay. So let's move on since you don't have any questions. Sorry. I keep on burping every time that I do my lectures. I don't know why. Okay. So now that you don't have any questions, are you sure? Yes,
Yes
no?
Yes po.
Okay, yes daw. All right. So if you don't have any questions, let's move on to our class activity for today. Were you able to talk to your group mates?
Yes po.
Opo.
Yes po.
Alright. So I guess everyone is already prepared naman. I already decided to group you accordingly. Actually, this was the grouping from last time pa na we didn't get to use, okay, from our last activity. But I decided to post the grouping so that we do not spend a lot of time, dilly-dallying over these things already. So, and you also have the opportunity to talk to your group mates in advance. All right. So this is your groupings for those who are not yet familiar with the groupings. Is there anyone here who is not yet part of our Facebook group? Meron pa ba? I hope everyone is already part of our Facebook group. If you still have classmates who are not yet part of it, please do invite them or ask them to join the group and then approve it. Kasi Facebook is very essential, especially right now that TBL Hub is acting up. Okay, there might be instances where I'll be posting, or actually, that's really where I post my announcement. So you are updated. All right. Okay, so let's move on to our activity for today. Are you ready? Yes.
Opo.
Okay, I hope you get to talk to your how do I say this? To your group mates about it. Okay, so we will be playing rather Twisted. It's the ultimate oral communication challenge. Actually, this is many of the tasks in here relate to lesson 4, verbal and non-verbal communication. So we are going to practice. This is a practice for your verbal communication skills and your non-verbal communication skills as well. You are already informed of the activities that we are going to have. We will have pronunciation challenges and articulation challenges, as well as your acting challenges, okay? Charades and Pictionary as well. All right. So I'll proceed with the rules since I hope you already talked to your group mates about it. Each game must be taken on by one representative of each group. Okay, each member is expected to participate and there should be no repetition of challengers. So take for example, if you are the representative for the first game in your group, you cannot be the representative anymore on the second game. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, Nicole, you have a question?
Yes po. Paano po ma'am kapag kulang po kami, wala po yung ibang representative, pwede pong umulit?
Um, if if we will be able to finish all 5 games.
Okay po, thank you po.
Okay, how many are you today, Nicole? Do you know already?
Hindi ko pa po sure. Pero po may alam po ako na wala po sa amin ngayon.
Okay, sige. If kulang talaga, then yes, you can repeat. For example, if there are only 3 of you or 2 of you, then you can repeat. But then if there are 4, I guess that's already more than enough. Okay? So there. Okay, so each game is worth corresponding points. Once successfully completed, the winning group will receive the points allotted. There are certain tasks that even if you were not able to accomplish it, each correct answer is given a point. So, you still earn a point for your group. Okay? Depende na lang dun sa dami ng correct answer mo. Alright? Now, the group with the most number of points at the end of the challenge, of course, will win. Each participating member will receive 20 pesos GCash or load. Has anyone here have not received his or her prize from last time? Meron pa ba? Because I only based it on the information that I received. Yung mga nag-reply lang dun sa post ko. Okay, but if not, if you haven't yet, okay, received it, just tell me so I could send it to you. Okay, now for this one, we will have the same price. Okay. All right, but remember that you have to participate. Be part of the group as well. Contribute to the group. If you don't have any contributions, mahiya ka naman. Wala ka na nga kinontribute. Tapos, gusto mo lang ng prize. Okay? So, contribute to the group so that your group will win the prize as well. Alright. So, I hope that's clear. Any questions, clarifications before we proceed? Yes? No? None?
None.
None. Okay, so let's proceed to the next, to the first game. Okay, representatives for each group. We have 6 groups, correct?
7, ma'am.
Huh? We have 7 groups in your class? Wait, let me check. 6
Ay,
lang.
charot. Mag-6
Six
wala
lang.
kami, ma'am. Sorry.
6 lang, but some groups have 7 members. 6 lang. Yung kinabahan ako dun kasi 6 lang yung nakaprepare sa akin. Okay. Sige, 6. 6. Alright. First representatives for each group, please do turn on your video cams or your cameras so I can see you. I am taking down notes of the scores. Joshua is here. Joshua, what's your group?
Group 1.
Sorry, group 1?
Yes.
Okay, Jill, what's your group? Or Jill? What's your group? What's your group number?
4 po.
4. Princess, what's your group?
Ano po, 5 po.
5. Lorely, what's your group?
6 po.
6. And Bianca, what's your group number?
3 po.
3. We are missing group number 2. Anyone from group number 2?
Si Rio Veros po.
Who? Is he here?
Yes po.
Okay, now can you please turn on your camera so I can see you? Okay, representative. So group 2. All right. Okay, so simple. Very simple. This is actually the easiest challenge out of all Jessica is here. All right. So out of all the challenges that I have prepared, I believe that this is the easiest. Okay. So we will only have the pronunciation and articulation challenge for game 1. Okay. It's very simple. Our representatives only need to read the list of words that are given to them or they have chosen. Okay. So I have 10 words every set. So they are different from each other. Okay? Each properly articulated and correctly pronounced word is worth a point for your team. So out of the 10, take for example, if you only correctly pronounce 5, then you get 5 points. Okay? You don't have to, if you get 10, then that's good. If you get 7, then you get 7 points for your team. Okay? All you have to do is just read it and pronounce it, articulate it properly. Are we clear? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes
So
po.
we'll practice your pronunciation and articulation. Okay. So we will start with group 1 with Joshua because Joshua was the first one to turn on his cam. Joshua, choose a number.
3 po.
3. Okay, 3. I'll give you 5 seconds to look over it first. Tingnan muna. Basahin on your head. Okay. You may now read, Joshua.
Education, dessert, SAR, parentheses, com, subtitle,
Next.
confirm, plumber, rampage.
Okay, so 6 points for your team. Okay, let me read it for the benefit of the others so that you would also know how to properly pronounce the words. Okay, education was pronounced correctly. That's correct. All right. Dessert was pronounced correctly. It's dessert, not dessert. Okay, if it's dessert, it's single S. If it's dessert, it's double S. Dessert as in the sweets that you eat after eating a full meal. All right. Next. It's sour, 2 syllables, not 1. Sour. Okay? So sour worm, sour tapes, it's not sour tapes, it's not sour gummies. Okay? It's sour. Two syllables. And then parentheses was correctly pronounced. Comb, it's not comb, it's comb. All right, silent B. If you see letter M and letter B together, especially if at the end, towards the end of the sentence, then usually the B is silent. Okay, calm. It's not calm, it's calm. Silent L. Same with L and M together, you would notice. Bakit ba ako turo na turo? Ito pala mouse. Okay, same with L and M. If you see them together, usually it's silent L. Calm. Alright? Subtle, not subtle. Confirm was pronounced correctly. Confirm. It's not confirm, ha? A lot of students actually say, confirm. Paki-confirm naman. Okay, it's not. It's confirm. And then it's plumber. Again, M and B together. So instead of saying plumber, you say plumber. Silent B. Alright? And then rampaging was pronounced correctly naman po. Alright? So that's 6 points for group 1. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Group 4. Group 4? Okay, Wargel. Choose a number.
4.
4. Alright. Okay, 5 seconds to look at it first. Okay, ready? Go. Wargel, you're on mute.
Tom.
Ayan.
Yes, ma'am. Ready na po. Okay. Tom,
Go ahead.
Wednesday, picture, sword, cloth, Arctic, tuition, salmon, photograph, jewelry.
Okay, 6 points as well. All right. So let me read it. It's tomb, not tomb. Okay, it's tomb. You would notice it's M and B. So silent B tayo. But you long, how do I say this? You extend the sound of letter O. Okay, so tomb, Wednesday was pronounced correctly. It's Wednesday, not Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday. Picture was pronounced correctly. It's not picture, it's picture. Sword was pronounced correctly. Cloth, cloth, cloth. Okay? May TH yan. Arctic, Arctic. There's a C in here, so you have to pronounce it. Okay, tuition, correct? It's salmon, not salmon. In Filipino, it's okay. We call it salmon. But then in English, it's salmon. Silent letter L. Okay, photograph, correctly pronounced. And jewelry, jewelry. Okay, all right. So 6 points for group 4. Let's move on to the next one, group 5. Okay, ready? Number pala muna.
2 po.
2. Okay. 5 seconds to read the words. Look over the words. Okay, ready, princess?
Opo.
Okay, go ahead, read.
Interesting, sweet, restaurant, receipt, coupon, breakfast, pizza, vegetable, cucumber, lettuce.
Okay, 8 points. Okay, 8 points. Let me read it. In Filipino, whenever we read interesting, it's okay. However, in American English, you call it, you say it or you pronounce it rather, interesting. Nawawala yung letter E over here. Okay, so you say interesting, not interesting. But in Filipino, it's fine. In Filipino English, it's fine. Interesting. Same with comfortable. You say it like that, comfortable. But in American English, they say comfortable. Alright? So, may mga nawawala na letters. You say sweet instead of suit. It's sweet. So, this was pronounced correctly. As in matamis, parang ganon, sweet. And then you say restaurant, not restaurant. Alright? Restaurant, not restaurant ha. Okay. Receipt was pronounced correctly without the P. Hindi natin sinasabing receipt. Okay? Receipt. Coupon was pronounced correctly. Coupon. Coupon. And then breakfast, not breakfast. Apparently, a lot of people mispronounce this word. It's pizza, not pizza. 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 Alright? It's vegetable, pronounced correctly, not vegetable. Very common yan sa mga Pinoy, vegetable. Okay? Well, I think that's just them being funny. But still, it's vegetable, not vegetable. Correctly pronounced as well, cucumber, not cucumber. It's cucumber. Cucumber. And then, of course, lettuce was also pronounced correctly. So, 8 points for group number 5. Good job. Okay, thank you, Princess. Next one, we have group number 6. Group number 6?
Number
Okay.
1 po.
Number 1. 5 seconds to look at it. Alright, you may now read, Laurelie.
Exciting, genre, chocolate, dinosaur, pronunciation says women, yoke, police, vehicles.
Okay, 7 points. 7 points for group number 6. Let me read it again. Okay, it's not exciting, it's exciting. As in itlog. Exciting. So you pronounce it like that. Exciting, not exciting. Alright, and then genre was correctly pronounced. It's genre, not genre or genre. Okay, it's genre. And then ito, very common to. Even me personally, I still make errors on this one. I commit errors on pronouncing this one. It's not chocolate, it's chocolate. Chocolate. Okay, here. Let me type it so that you would understand. Okay, it's not chocolate. Siguro choco, it's fine. Choco, it's fine. But when you say chocolate, it's not chocolate, it's chocolate. Okay, next one. Dinosaur was pronounced correctly. It's not dinosaur. Dinosaur. Pronunciation, please do take note ha. This is very common. When you are referring to the noun, pronunciation, there's no letter O over there. So it's pronunciation. But if you are referring to the verb, how to do pronunciation, how to say words, it's pronounce. Take note of the spelling as well. There is an O. Have you noticed it? Okay, so when you spell the verb, there's an O, pronounce. And you also say the O, pronounce. But in pronunciation, the noun, it's just letter U. Common error yan. It's a very common error in English. And even native speakers are still committing this error. Okay? Says, correct. This was correctly pronounced. It's not says, it's says. Okay, says. And then you have women, not woman. It's women. Ayan, women. Actually, no, dapat ganito siya. Women. Women. Sorry. Ayan, women. Alright, and then yolk was pronounced correctly. It's not yolk, it's yolk. Police was also pronounced correctly. It's not police. Alright, and then vehicle was also pronounced correctly, not vehicle. Okay, vehicle, not vehicle. Vehicle. Alright, okay. Next one. Good job. Next one, group number 3. Group number 3, choose a number, please. Bianca, is it you? I cannot hear you. Number.
Number 2?
Done na, done na. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, done na. 5 and 6 na lang ata, wala.
Ano po, 5 na lang po.
5. Okay, here. Sige, 5 seconds to look at the words. Okay, ready? Read.
Schedule, elite, true, intermittent, calm, epitome, English, percentage, infamous, cupboard.
Okay, 4. 4 correctly pronounced words. Okay, good job. So let me read it once again. It's schedule. That was pronounced correctly. Schedule, not schedule. All right, it's schedule. Elite, not elite. Elite, elite. Through, not throw. Through. Okay. Intermittent, I guess Bianca didn't notice the letters. Intermittent. So for example, if your internet is getting cut off from time to time, then your connection is intermittent. Okay? Calm, kanina na ano na to, 'di ba? Calm, not calm. Calm. Okay? And then it's not epitome, it's epitome. 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 Alright? And then next we have English. Correct. Correctly pronounced. Next is percentage. Correctly pronounced as well. It's not infamous. It's infamous. Infamous. Okay? Infamous. It's not infamous. If you are infamous, then that means that you are famous for doing something terrible, doing something bad. Okay? So you serial killers, murderers, just like Ted Bundy, are infamous. Okay? And then we have, it's not cupboard, it's cupboard. 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 Okay, so we don't say the letter P. Cupboards are the kitchen shelves and the shelves under the stairs. The storage area under the stairs. That's a cupboard. Okay? I think this is a British term for shelves. Okay. So there. Good job. Next one we have. Who was the last one? Was it wait. Jessica, yeah, there. Jessica, go ahead. Choose. It's 6, correct? Number
Yes
6.
po.
Okay, 5 seconds. Okay. Ready now to read?
Yes po.
Go ahead, read it.
Anyway, hyperbole, prestigious, quay, segue, colonel, almond, library, stomach, definitely.
Okay, 6 points. All right, 6 points. I'll read it again. It's not anyway, it's anyway. Correct? It's not hyperbole or hyperbole, it's hyperbole. Hyperbole. Actually, dapat hyperbole siya. Ball nandun sa, yung stress sa ball. Okay, hyperbole. Okay, and then we have prestigious, correctly pronounced. Quay is not pronounced as quay. It's pronounced actually as, sorry. Let me just type it so you are guided. Key. Key. As in the suse. Similar to how you pronounce the word suse in English. Okay, so it's not quay, it's key. 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 Okay, and then we have segue, which was pronounced correctly. So it's not segue, it's segue. Ayan, segue. And then we have, it's not colonel. Colonel is actually, this is one tricky word because it's not colonel, it's colonel. It's pronounced as colonel. 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 Just like the kernel corns. Okay? And then you have almond. It's not almond, it's almond. Only, do not pronounce the letter L. Almond. Silent letter L. Library was correctly pronounced. It's not library, it's library. Stomach, not stomach. And definitely, not definitely. Apparently, some people mispronounce this. So, definitely, not definitely. Okay. That's it. Good job, everyone. So far, we have Group 1, Group 4, and Group 2 with 6 points. Group 5 with 8 points. Group 6 with 7 points. And Group 3 with 4 points. Okay, good job. Now, let's move on to the next one. Next set of volunteers, please, for our game 2. Can you please turn on your cameras? Neville is our first one. Maya is our second. Rainer is the next. Jennifer, Queenie, another one. Ella. Okay, so we are complete. Okay, we'll start again with group 1. Oh, let me explain first the rules. Okay, so for game 2, all they have to do is just read as many tongue twisters as they could in 1 minute. Okay, so they are given 1 minute and I have 5 tongue twisters. So they could read it as slowly as they could, but they have to read it in one go. Okay, so they could read it as slowly as they could, but when they commit a mistake in one go, they have to say it over again. Okay, each correctly read tongue twister in just one attempt is worth 2 points. 2 points. If you say it correctly, you read it correctly, 2 points. So you have 1 minute to finish all 5 and receive 10 points. But remember, you have to say them correctly in one go. I will make you repeat it if there's still time. But if there's no more time, then you will get the points that you read, correctly read. Okay? Or for those that you correctly read. Are we clear? Are you ready now?
Yes po.
Okay, sige, yes. Okay, we'll start first with Group 1. Group 1, unmute yourself, please.
Number 4 po.
Number 4. Okay, Queenie chooses number 4. I'll give you 5 seconds to look at it first. Okay, ready, Queenie? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, go.
A big black bear sat on a big black rock. 9 nice night nurses nursing nicely. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Ted spent 10 cents for eggs. Flash message, flash message, flash message.
Repeat number 5.
Flash message, flash message, flash message.
Okay, correct. Okay, so good job. That's 10 points for Group 1. Okay, let me just write that down. All right, let's move on to Group 4. Choose a number.
Ano po, number 1.
Number 1. Okay. Can you see it now, Maya? 5 seconds to read it. To look at it first. Okay, ready? Ready? Unmute yourself na. Mia, are you the volunteer? The representative? Please unmute yourself. I cannot hear you. Oh, wait daw yung mic. Okay, we'll just wait for a few seconds. But that's how it works. Ala, nawala si Mia. Okay. Ano nga pinili na number 1 si Mia, no?
Rinig na
Ayan.
po, ma'am.
Yes, I can hear you properly now. Alright, okay, ready?
Yes po.
Okay, ready? Start now.
Betty Butter bought some butter. She sells seashells by the seashore. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can? We all scream for ice cream. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? Betty
Wow.
bought some butter. She sells seashells by the seashore. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can? We all scream for ice cream. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he?
Okay
Betty
na.
Butter
Mia, thank you.
Kala
Okay,
ko
good job.
marami.
Yun lang, yung 5 lang. Excited ka naman eh. Okay, very good. Okay, wonderful. That's 10 points for your group. Okay. So, let's move on to the next one. Thank you, Maya. Next one is group 5. Group 5. Group 5. Who's on group 5? Ella. Number
1 po.
Number 1. Number 1 is already done. Another
4
group
po.
number. 4. Done already. 1 and 4 already done.
Number 3.
Number
3 po.
3. Okay. 5 seconds to look at it first. Okay. Ready now?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
We surely shall see the sunshine soon. How much wood with the wood chomp chomp? I have got a date at 7:45. Fred fed Ted bread, and Ted fed Fred bread near on ear, a nearer ear.
Repeat
We sure,
number 2.
how
How
much
much?
wood would a wood chop chop?
Again.
How much wood would a wood chop chop?
Okay. Number 4.
Fred fed Ted bread, and Ted fed Fred bread.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you. That's 10 points for your group. Ang haba pala nung 1 minute. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Let's go to group 6. Group number 6. Okay. Rainer, go ahead. Choose a number.
6, ma'am.
6. Okay. 5 seconds to look at it. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
If a dog choose shoes, whose shoes does he choose? I wish to wash my iris wristwatch. A snap crackle pop, snap crackle pop, snap crackle cup. No, no, no. Snap crackle pop, crackle pop, snap crackle pop, snap crackle pop, snap crackle pop, snap crackle pop. Yan. A skunk sat on a stump. I'll see you at the gate, so don't be late.
Okay, repeat number 2.
I wish to wash my eye. I wish to wash my iris wristwatch.
Again,
Wristwatch. I wish to.
repeat number
I
2.
wish to wash my Irish wristwatch.
Okay, very good. Okay, so that's 10 points for your group. All right, I know that's kind of tricky. I wish to wash my Irish wristwatch. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Group number 3. Who's the representative, please? Neville. Choose a number.
2.
3 and 5, I think, is not. Is 2 done? Yeah. 2. Okay. 5 seconds to look at it first. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. I thought of thanking you. Eddie edited it. So this is the sushi chef. I slit the sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I slit.
Can you repeat number 4?
So this is the sushi chef.
Okay, very good. Okay, good job. 10 points for group number 3. Okay, group number 2, last one, Jennifer. Last one, I think it's number 5. Okay. 5 seconds to read through it. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Unmute yourself na kayan. Thank you. Ready? Ala, nawala yung timer ko. 1, 2, 3, go.
He threw 3 free throws. Wayne went to Wales to watch walruses. Rolling red wagons, rolling red wagons, rolling red wagons. I've never viewed a vid as valued. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop.
Repeat number 4 and 5.
I've never viewed a vid as valued. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop.
Number 5 again.
I saw Susie I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop.
Okay, very muntik na yun. Okay, I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Alright, very good. So, plus 10 points for group number 2. Alright, it's already 7:15 on my end. Would you like to continue on the games on our next meeting instead?
Yes po.
Okay, yes. Okay. So, I'll end the class for now here because we don't have time and I have a class after your class. So, I'll stop presenting na. Ay, wait. Not stop presenting. Ay, hindi, tama. Stop presenting. Okay. So, I'll stop presenting for now and then, no. Let me go back first to my reminders because I was not able to discuss this with you before I end the class. Let's just go back to our reminders. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, again, let me just remind you that your midterms is coming soon or the end of midterms is coming soon. So you have to be mindful of our activities, okay? Do not forget to log into TBL Hub during our scheduled sessions for our attendance. And then we will have, by now, you should have already submitted and accomplished activity 1. Dapat tapos na yon, di nyo na yun iintindihin. Okay, activity 1 and lesson reflection 1. And then for this week, I hope that you will be able to accomplish at least lesson 2, activity 2, and activity 3. Alright, so activity 2 and lesson reflection 2, activities 3.1 and 3.2. I think these are quizzes which are 15 to 20 items lang naman. So, and then lesson reflection 3. And for the lesson which came out this week. It's activity 4 and lesson reflection 4. So please be mindful of that because like what I have mentioned earlier, we will not be accepting late submission of requirements. So once I have already submitted your midterm grades, no more. Hindi na ako tatanggap ng mga activities from it. Hindi ka na rin, kahit magpasa ka sa akin, hindi na yan mabibigyan ng grade because I cannot change your midterm grade anymore. Alright? So please do inform your other classmates about it. If anyone could take a screenshot. Anyway, I will be posting our recorded session naman so they could watch it, go over it again. But do you have any questions, clarifications that you want to make? Are there any instructions that are unclear to you or you want to clarify? Meron ba?
Wala po.
Wala po. Okay. So I hope everything is clear. But anyway, if you have any questions or clarifications, you can always message me naman po. If some instructions you are, it's unclear to you, then you can always ask me. Instead of asking your classmates, Hana ko, wag kayong sa klase nagtatanong. Sa teacher kayo magtanong para alam nyo ang gagawin. Kung ano talaga ang tamang gagawin. Okay? Nangyari na to last time and I didn't want the same mistake to happen again because last time I had this class before, last semester, graduate na sila. Last semester, I had this class that they were all too competitive in the class and then there's this group of students who are just talking on their own. Like if they didn't understand something, they would just ask their friend about it. Now, suddenly there was an instruction that the friend didn't understand completely but still gave the instruction to the classmate. So the entire group had the output incorrectly, submitted an incorrect output because of it. So I don't want the same thing to happen. So if you have any questions, please do ask me directly so that the instructions will be clear. Okay, much more clear and much more accurate. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, for those who just came in, please do not forget to type in your full name on the chat box, please, so that it will be recorded as your attendance po for this synchronous. Parang ang konti lang nung nag-type. What happened to the rest? 1, 2, 3, 4. Parang less than 32. Please do not forget to type your names on the attendance, on the chat box. O yan, nako. Alright, so, if you don't have any questions po and you're done typing your name on the chat box, you may now, Ivy, go ahead. You have a question?
Ma'am, paano po kapag nakakapag-attendance naman po dito sa chat box pero po sa may TBL, nakapag-attendance naman po pero po may mga na-miss po na present?
Sa TBL Hub?
Opo.
Can you tell me, Ivy, what are the dates? Para po I can mark as excuse.
Pero ano po, present naman po ako dito ma'am sa Google Meet.
Opo, okay lang po yun. Just so I could mark it on TBL Hub. Para ma-mark ko po.
Okay ma'am,
Kasi kung hindi, absent lang yun. Nakalagay lang doon absent.
PM ko na lang po.
Yes, please, Ivy. No worries. Okay, so if that's the case, for example, TBL Hub is down and you cannot access it on from 6 a.m. to 12 noon, then just message me po so I could mark the attendance for you. Ha? Alright, wala naman pong problema doon. Just message me so I could mark the attendance for you. Alright, if you don't have any questions, anyway, I have a record of this naman, Ivy. So this one, I also mark it as on a separate sheet nga lang kasi wala kasi sa TBL Hub. But anyway, I have a copy of our synchronous sessions anyway, so it's not a problem. Alright, any questions, clarifications that you want to make? Anything else? If there are none already, thank you so much, Grade 12-01, Music and Theater. I hope you are having a great week. Or at least yesterday was great for you and continuously you will have a great week ahead of you. Please, be healthy, be safe, and take care of yourselves. We don't want to, we don't want to sacrifice our personal health Okay, just for studying. So please do take care of yourself, stay healthy. If you need to rest, go rest up. There's no harm in resting. Okay? So if you don't have any questions po and you're done putting your name on the chat box, then you may now leave the room. Maraming salamat everyone. Thank you.
Thank you po,
Thank you
ma'am.
po, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
ma'am.
Bye
Thank
po.
you. Bye-bye. See you next week. We will have our synchronous session next week.